My 2024 year in review. So 2024 was a great year. It was kind of a transition year for me in starting a new skill. Uh, with that skill came growth, new processes, new habits. And the hardest part of all is balancing it along with my life and all the current things I was already doing. And what that new skill was, number one, was YouTube. It's a lot more work than I imagined. I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but consistently shooting these videos and editing them and learning about the process and what other creators do and everything on the back end was way more involved than I realized. And I knew editing was a lot of work when I got into this. I've done it in the past, but consistently sticking with it, even though it's discouraging when you don't see a lot of views or when you see that you mess up a video and or even when I mess up a video and my exposure is way too high and it looks all white or the sound is just shit and it just is very frustrating, but it's just about sticking with it. 2024 was a year of just action, just doing it. And now that I stuck with it through the year, 2025 is going to be focus, finding a direction, finding the right direction within archery and YouTube and going for it and really zoning in the channel. So my archery did take a pause while I started up the YouTube channel. Obviously my YouTube channel is on archery, but there were times where I was not shooting near as much as I was the year before. I started archery 2 years ago, just over 2 years ago. I picked up the bow and started shooting a lot. First year, shot a ton. I was in love with it right away. I was obsessed, still am. And I shot for 1 year until November, this last November. And then I started the archery channel, posted my first video. And there were times where I would only shoot when I was recording a video for the first couple months, which really drastically brought down my shooting. Maybe not quite that much. I was still blank bailing and stuff. And then after that, I started picking up more. And definitely the last few months since hunting season ended, I've been going hard with archery again. I've now got all my processes under control with YouTube. There's still a lot for me to do there. But now my archery, I'm really digging into it, focusing on my technique, my form, and progressing again, while also maintaining filming and editing and all that goes along with that. When it comes to archery, I enjoy thinking and working on the technique and the actual shooting. Not so much the tinkering with my bow or arrows or all the different things, but that's something I'm going to do a little bit more in 2025. Learning how to do all the different things, tying the D-loop, all the simple things. I do have a lot down, but there's more I can do. I do already build my own arrows, but that's something I'm going to dig into further. I will do some videos on tinkering and stuff, but I don't think that's going to be my focus in this channel. I'll do it as the requests come up, or as I'm changing things up, I'll do videos. But I don't think that's ever going to be my focus, is just gear. So bow hunting. I did not expect I was going to have the success I did. I'm still just freaking super happy that I got the shot at that bull that I did and made it happen. And just actually locating him the night before, not just getting totally lucky and just having him come out. It was just like I tracked him, I heard him, called him in, backed out, kept the patience, went back in, tracked him, and really just made it happen. Obviously, there's a ton of luck that was still involved, but I'm just still feel really gratified. Gratified, is that a word? Feel gratified. Still have immense gratitude with having that shot this year and being able to make it happen. my second year archery. I did get skunked out on my first year archery in 2023, but in 2024, I made it happen. Now my goal is making it happen every year going forward. And then along with bow hunting, learning all the skills that go into being successful. So being consistent, putting the miles in every day, no matter what, breaking bow hunting up into two different sequences or two different plays in hunting. First, it's finding the elk, and that's totally different. And then once you find the elk, you're in a totally different zone. Now you're hunting them. It's really, you're just freaking hiking until you find them. Once you know where they're at, you're dialing it in and you're reacting to where they're at and the best way to get in on them. And now I'm going to continue to find my style of bow hunting. So far, it's been more just stalking in quietly and less calling, other than trying to locate them. And then learning a lot about tracking and their habits and where you think they're going to be at based on the weather and the pressure. And then nutrition and fitness in 2024. So this is a big part of my life. It's been over a decade, 12, 13 years, that I've been big into health and fitness and working out. And this year, starting a new channel, taking something on, I've had to make concessions and really pick and choose my time wisely. And I've maintained where I'm at in my fitness level. There's things I wish I could progress more, but I also have to be realistic with my goals and how much time I have. So one thing I've incorporated this year, and I've done it a lot in the past already, is I am lucky enough to have a home gym and have a garage where I have a barbell, kettlebells, access to a lot of stuff other than just body weight. But instead of doing big 45-minute or hour workouts 3, 4, or 5 times a week, I try to work out every day, or at least 6 days a week. And I will do anything from 5 minutes to 20 minutes and just get something in, whether it's right away in the morning, before we eat dinner, if I'm working from home or in the middle of editing, take a break and go get some squats in, some split squats, some kettlebell swings, and really just get small bite-sized chunks in multiple times a day, or at least one huge drop set in that burns me out and then keeps me consistent. So that's one thing I changed for this year, is just doing bite-sized chunks as I can fit them in around my time. And then one of the biggest things and the biggest challenge is balancing my life around all these things. Obviously, I have multiple hobbies. If you consider YouTube my hobby right now, because I make no money from it. And then obviously you got archery, nutrition and fitness. So balancing friends and family, and definitely my girlfriend. So I think she gets sick of putting up with me and all the stuff I'm doing. And sometimes it seems like I prioritize that stuff first. So that's something I'm trying to improve on, is having my ducks in a row before I go do the fun stuff that I want to do. One goal I had in 2024 for the YouTube channel was to get to 1,000 subs. At the end of the year, I was only at 193. So far from my goal. Less than a quarter. But you know what? It is what it is. I know that I stayed consistent throughout the year, and I took action. I think one thing in my past was paralysis by analysis. I had always had all these different ideas, all these different ventures I wanted to try, and I would get to the part where it'd be hard and then quit and just overthink it. So honestly, I think it was a huge success this year, just starting this channel when I wasn't ready and when I didn't have things perfect and when I know I wasn't recording awesome videos, at least not yet. I had a couple that did good, and I had a couple that didn't do great, but I was proud of them. And just going for it and knowing that I'm going to improve on the processes over time. So my goals for 2025, for now, I'm going to keep that sub goal at 1,000. Subs aren't everything for me. I'm going to work on external monetization once I get to that point. But right now, it's just about being consistent, finding value that I can provide to the archery community, something that's different from everyone else, and finding that and digging into it. And then I'll worry about money. But that's not why I'm doing this. Another goal for fitness is going to be running a half marathon again. I've done it in the past. It's been maybe 3 years. So I want to get that down again, especially before hunting season. Probably won't do a marathon, especially not after I was mentioning the just keeping my time in check. I think trying to get towards a half marathon would be a great goal for this year. And maybe do a couple of them. Even if they're not sanctioned events, just put it on the calendar and act like it's an actual event and then go do it and be conditioned to where I can run a half marathon at the drop of a hat. Another goal, this one's not really important to me, but it'd be cool to throw out there, is benching 225. Maybe 225 for 5. This is something that if I'm feeling any tweaks out there, because I've never really gone for strength. I've been going for reps and more building functional muscle and going higher reps, because then I'm not worrying about getting more injuries. And you can also build a good cardio base with higher reps versus going super heavy for 5 or 3 or 1 rep maxes. But that'd be a fun goal to throw down there. I'm not sure if that'd be hard for me. I know I can hit 225. But yeah, just throwing that one out there. Target archery, I am now getting into it, and so far I've scored 3 rounds. Yeah, 3 rounds of 20-yard indoor. A little worse than expected and maybe slightly better than expected on 1 round. But I'm going to set a goal on that aspect. And I don't know, I haven't researched goals. I don't know how hard it would be, but maybe 290. Maybe 290 would be a good goal to hit. I don't know if that's easy. I don't know if that would be hard. This is with a bow hunting rig. So far, I haven't really adjusted anything, except I have turned my weight down to 61 pounds. So we'll see, but I'm going to throw that goal out there, see if I can hit it. Maybe I'll adjust the goal, but just to throw those goals out there. That is my 2024 year in review. That is all the things that I worked on throughout the year. YouTube, archery, bow hunting, nutrition, and fitness. Let me know what things you enjoyed about my channel this last year in 2024 and the things you'd like to see more of. Let's kick 2025's ass. Thanks for tuning in.